just to show you what was left of the petcock. Got O-ring, the suction tube, I guess. The big nut was left because it was attached up on the tank. We got the fuel on off thing. The rubber plastic things are good, steel screws are good. And the only thing that's gone is the aluminum. It's just, I'm guessing it's aluminum. I don't know what it is, cast aluminum, I guess. It's gone. It's disintegrated it. So, if you're going to do the muriatic acid, make sure you get a steel plug for the bottom of the tank so you're not like me. Alright, so as per directions say, if I can find it again, it says give it 40 to 50 minutes to trim the excess off the bottom. And then place tank in a warm 70 to 90 degrees, allow cure for 24 to 36 hours before putting gasoline in the tank. And if you want to do a second coat, do it within 24 hours. Within, not wait 24 hours. So we get down here now. Where can I put this? Just like that. And as you can see, it's pretty humped up there from dripping and getting hard. I'm going to go ahead and take my knife, run it around it. I said it's not full cure, so it's still very I don't know what you call it, pliable, I guess. Yeah, it's like kind of elasticy. But it's all cut. Go ahead and pull the tape because I know it's not going to run out. But, and there's what you end up with. Just kind of trim a little bit. It does look a little bit like crap there where you can see where it's been heavier on one side, where it was running out. I don't think that'll matter too much. Oh man. I do have it. Maybe you can see it on the threads pretty good. So I'm gonna get a wire wheel or wire brush. Knock that out while it's still gummy. So once it does get fully hard, you'd still be able to chase it. Chase it out with probably a pick, but it'll be rock hard. So I just take this little hand jobber and see what I can do with it. Well, it don't look shiny no more on the threads. I mean, other than it being shiny from taking a wire brush to it, but that's down in there. That's what it looked like. Kind of like a real glossy, real thick clear coat on the inside of the tank. Pretty good. And they're wondering, probably, I don't know, a very, very small amount actually drained out. So, I said this is on old CB 650, so I would say that if you definitely, I mean, really I don't know a whole lot that would have a smaller tank other than that little 883. I mean, so I guess if you're gonna do it, buy two kits of it. If you want to do a second coat, I mean, truthfully, it probably don't need it, but a second coat would just kind of verify that everything's been coated, because it would slide a lot easier on top of the new epoxy. But now I gotta get a petcock and wait 24 to 36 hours. So it'll probably be a whole week until I get a petcock in. Well, till next time. Alright, I'm gonna pop these open. Hold it up. Hold it up this way so I can look through the cup and see my line. And you can see that's a little above 2. So, I mean, getting it that close will be alright. It will cure. If you get much farther off than that, it could affect cure time. But for the most part, as long as you thoroughly mix this, it'll cure. And again, whip it around. And it's about right there at the 2. Good enough. Good enough for who it's for. I would recommend wearing gloves. I should have put gloves on before I started this. But just keep on whipping it. Kind of sucks that it's clear. It's a clear resin in pretty clear hardener. If you'd switch it up or put some kind of a dye in either one part or the other, then it would it'd get a lot better for you. A lot better. So then you'd really be able to see if you mixed it well or not. And I'm counting 2 minutes. That's why they put in there the 2-minute thing, is because, I mean, you could probably almost dump that into either of the part A or part B, and it look exactly the same. I mean, it's pretty much crystal clear, which surprises me on why they wouldn't. I wonder why they wouldn't opt to put some tint in it, because that would also help you when you're coating it tell if you got everything or not, which that's why I'm trying to do the 2 coats. But to tell you the truth, I might have to mix up the rest of it just to do 1 coat, maybe, I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. Pour it all straight in the hole. That last little bit, it won't matter. But now I'll stay there, and I'll flip this over and lid's back on. Not all the way, but good enough. Yeah, I should probably mix up the whole thing. Maybe you can put a little thinner in it. It says you can put a little bit in it. It recommends xylene, but if I put thinner in the next bit, it'll be acetone. Yeah. It's too thick to come out, but said it recommended. Tape over anywhere it might leak. I guess if it was really hot, it would be a lot more flowy, I reckon. But it being that thick, it ain't, she ain't gonna go nowhere. Yeah, let's mix up the rest of it. Maybe put a little thinner in it. Oh yeah, right on my finger. Should have just grabbed a pair of gloves. one now. Now, like I said, it recommends xylene for thinner, but I don't have xylene, I have acetone. Now, there's a few different characteristics, I'd say, but acetone is a oil-based thinner, same as xylene, MEK, mineral spirits. They're all oil-based. So, I mean, technically, you could use any one you like, just results may vary on how it reacts, how it, it just varies. Like if you use MEK, it would use a lot less MEK to thin anything out. But truthfully, I shouldn't. I don't think I'd have to once I use the rest of this. But I might just put a splash in it, just to get a little. I need it to run. I can't even tell you if it's going anywhere. As far as I know, it all just ran in and went out the back, or went to the back. Because there ain't none on the petcock hole. Yes, I know. Well, the cure time might be off. If you done mix that one up about 2 minutes ago, it ain't gonna be off that bad. Should still be alright. Just an epoxy. Still nothing. I see it moving now when I look through the petcock, so tells me I'm on the right track. Oh yeah, I see the flowing. Should have probably took this glove off before I keep touching on my paint. And more or less hold it upside down, because like I said, it is thick, so kind of at an angle. Oh, get back in there. Kind of at an angle to get it on the top part of the tank. Now, a little bit you can see around the front here. It don't have none on it. The filler hole, I guess you'd say. Just do that. Just wipe it with a glove. Treat the glove like a paintbrush. On these, it really won't matter all that much, because it's pretty thick. And whatever does run and drop and drip is gonna. There we go. Now I see it touching the fill hole there. So now I know that's got a good coating on it. And it says that once you drain this out, and it all runs out, and then once it starts drying, or getting dry, then you can just take a knife, or truthfully if you have a sharp enough scraper, you can probably do that. Knife or scraper or something, and just trim it off. you had a tank any bigger than this, which I don't know, I'd guess this is probably a 4 or so gallon tank. Probably buy 2 kits if you didn't want to thin it. I personally don't like thinning it when you're trying to do a coating, just because it takes away you measure coatings and paint and stuff, measure it in mils. It'll take away the mils of the coating, which how thick it is. And really on something like this, you would want it thick to ensure that no rust can pop or flake through, or it ain't gonna get wore down somehow, or yeah, it ain't like the outside paint where you're painting maybe 2 mils max with primer, base coat, and clear. So most of in the coating world, I mean, how we do anywhere from 15 mils clear up to 80 to 100. Once you start getting to that, you're talking like 1/4 inch thick. Pretty thick stuff. That's why I really didn't want to use, well, that's why I didn't use any thinner on this, because then I would definitely have to do 2 coats, and I don't have enough to do 2 coats if I make stuff that lasts a little bit with thinner. And then by the time the tank dried, and by the time the tank would dry, it would be flashed off and not usable. Which, even though a lot of coatings, once it starts getting tacky, you can normally hit it a little bit more, but the epoxy, you really want to let it cure. And some epoxies, which this one didn't say nothing about, but some epoxy paints and stuff and coatings will have call it a sweat-in time. So you'll mix it up, and then like Mac epoxy, for example, you mix it up and you let it sweat for a ½ an hour, and you can't. So you mix the A and the B together, wait a ½ hour, and it bubbles and outgasses and all that fun stuff. and then you can use it after that ½ hour's up. But you still have a good. Oh man, is it leaking out of that? Or did I just drip some on the floor? I must have just dripped some on the floor. Alright, where's my cutters? Got that zip tie layer drain. Not my cutter. I reckon I'll cut it. Or at least break it. Let that drain into the bucket. Take that off. Can't be a dirty rag because I got a little bit up here on the top side paint. I don't want none up there. Beautiful. But I'll let that drain the bucket and tack up. It should be A-okay. Shouldn't have no problems. It's pretty thick. It's still dripping off the filler hole ring when I cut it loose on the bottom. But that's pretty much the Caswell tank lining. I don't think I have a little pen light. Alright, so after some reading on that stuff. It's 2 to 1. It says you can do it in 2 coats if you got enough, which we should have enough, I hope. So get you a mixing cup, 2 to 1. So then do half. So I'd probably go 3 to 3. That's how you do that for 2 to 1. If you just want a little bit, you go 1 to 1, a little more. And it'd be this side, the lever line, be your part A because it's bigger. This side be your part B. So doing 3 to 3, I'll fill the part A up to that 3, and then pour the part B on top up to that 3. That'll give me a 2 to 1 mixture. And after reading the label on the acid, it said if you dump it too fast or dilute it, if you dilute it too fast, it'll cause boiling. So I don't know if there was a little bit of gas left in the tank and it was reacting to that, and that's what the steam and bubbling and popping was when I poured it in, or if it was just the pitcock. But I don't know. On the label, it don't say nothing about just to keep away from any kind of special metals. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But freaked me out a little bit because I ain't never used the stuff. But it don't matter now. Everything's all good. So I'm gonna mix this up 2 to 1, and we'll get back at you when I mix it. It says for the bottom of the tank to just take, it says a Glad wrap and a rubber band. I'm just going to take this in a zip tie, Ziploc bag. Probably just cut me a square, or actually I'll probably just cut a square off that, put it around it, zip tie it. It says to mix it for, let's see, where's it at here? Somewhere it tells you about mixing it. Oh yeah, it says mix thoroughly for at least 2 minutes, scrape all sides, immediately apply, blah blah blah. It's more or less just it's pretty much an epoxy paint. Nothing too complicated. But we'll seal up the bottom hole, leave this hole open. Yeah, you just pour it in, mix it up, pour it all in there, and then just keep rotating the tank until you're happy with how it's covered. Then take your stuff off the bottom and let the excess drain out, if there is excess, which I hope there is. I hope I don't have to mix up the other part real fast, because that'd kind of suck. I'm hoping to do two coats, and it has the mathematical equivalents on there of square footage and all that, but I was never any good at all that. But I'll get that mixed up and we'll see where it goes. Alright, well, the pitcock was a bad idea because the acid ate the crap out of it. And I guess that aluminum or whatever it's made of just can't mix it, I guess. I don't know. Should have known something was off when it was how bad it was bubbling and reacting with it. But oh well. Now it just makes it just a little bit harder once I go to put the sealer in. But I poured that in it, rinsed it, put acetone in it. But yeah, I guess if you're doing that, definitely make sure you do it outside. And maybe if it was if I would have had a steel cap, it probably wouldn't have bubbled and had some kind of chemical reaction like it did. But yeah, definitely make you perk up a little bit. But live and learn. I'm letting the tank finish air dry. I done blew air in it. Got a little bit left, a couple drops probably. Then I'll mix up the cast well. Alright, got most of the gas out, but I don't know if y'all can hear it. Got some rust in there, so I think I will opt out and do the muriatic acid treatment on it. Now, I'm pretty sure when you do this, you're going to have to dump this in, let it sit, blah blah blah. But before I put the sealer in, once I drain this, I should have to flush it with water and then dump a bunch of acetone in it, shake it around, so that way it don't flash rust the tank. And then let the acetone dry, and then I should be good to put the tank sealer on. And with that tank sealer, the guy said on the thing, like with that little pinhole there, that anywhere where it leaks, just put a piece of duct tape over it and it'll seal. But yeah, so I'll dump some of that in, and I'm gonna put the petcock back on it just because I know I'm gonna have to put I'm gonna buy a new petcock just because I want to. So I don't really care if this one gets gunk and messed up. That, and it just saves me a trip to the hardware store to get a nut to plug the bottom of the tank. And for the top, I just use my hand. But yeah, we'll dump that in, shake it all around, and go from there. But the cast well, the instructions on the cast well for a metal tank, you don't have to do the muriatic acid. The only thing you have to do, it says, is it says drywall screws, and you put screws, bolts, nuts, whatever you want inside the tank. Fill it with some acetone and shake the crap out of it just to knock all the rust off, or loose rust off, it says. Then drain it and let it air out or whatever, and then mix up the sealer, pour the sealer in, and that's all you need to do. But for me, it's just them rust chunks in the bottom that I can't shake out, and I'm hoping that the acid will break them down a little bit more to where I can then flush it out, or just with more liquid and get them broke free and come out. I mean, it's not, I don't know if y'all can see it from the looks, it don't look that rusty from what I can see, but of course you can't see much with the hump in the middle of the tank. There's that, and there some chunks come out, but not all of them. So we'll screw this petcock on and fill her full. Alright, got the tank off. There's that one bolt I was telling you about. And on the tank, it's just got like metal hooks, I guess you want to call it. Hook onto those each side to line the tank. But I got it over draining the rest of the gas that's out of it. The gas in it is clean coming out the petcock handle, which I know it's got the filter and all that stuff on it, but I mean, it's still good gas. But yeah, I mean, she's a pretty solid bike. Only got 8,516 miles. I mean, I've only put the 36, 37 miles on it since I bought it. But just a good project, or so I think. It does need, you're gonna need a head gasket kit on it. It leaks out of there, but I don't know, it's, I guess just from sitting. I mean, 8,000 miles ain't nothing. I mean, everything on it, I would guess when It probably got a set of tires put on it, maybe. Probably. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Only being 8,000 miles, it might not have ever got. But it looks like newer tires. But yeah, I got the gas tank draining. And once it drains, we'll I think I'm gonna do the muriatic acid wash, and then probably have to rinse that out with water, maybe, or maybe just go straight to acetone. I'd really like to just go get MEK and wash it out. MEK for any oil-based anything is way better. Cuts way faster, dries quicker. I mean, if you dump the splash of MEK out versus acetone or mineral spirits or whatever else you use, I mean, MEK will dry like that. But yeah, we'll let that drain out and get back with you then. Alright, welcome back. Today we're working on the CB650. Gonna do a tank reseal because definitely has one pinhole in the gas tank. I'm sure probably along this edge, as it's still leaking whatever little bit of gas is left in it out. But search online, one guy on one of the forums was saying they do it for a living and recommended Caswell over all the other ones. So it seems to perform the best or last the longest. So I trusted him and went with that. But pull the tank off, just 2 bolts each side of the seat. Pull the seat off, 1 bolt directly straight in there. Take gas line off, and then the tank just slides off of, I'll show you once I get it off, 2 little circle disc things. Well, I'll rip this tank off and we'll be right back.